So let's try to shoot for that. But regardless, support the Willard Project graduation. This is just a good cause.
All right, cars out on the racetrack, getting ready for the A modifieds. Leading them out is going to be the car of Kenny Schrader, car number 9, the Federated Auto Parts number 9 machine. On his outside, it'll be the number 30 car of Larry Bratti. On the inside, I believe it'll be the 26 of Kevin Blackburn. On the outside, it'll be Bob Test in car number 27. Mickey Burrell in car number 73. On the inside of row number 3, it's Ryan Gustin. And the 45 making his way up into his spot. That's Levi Nielsen in the 45 machine. Nathan Gold in car number 8. And that should be the lineup as we get ready to go green. And Dennis, it's going to be a lot of fun watching Ryan Gustin come up from the inside of row number 3. He's got a good hot rod. He's got a great record here at Springfield Raceway.
Yeah, he certainly does. In fact, I believe he's one of the few to pick up 2 big feature wins in the same night, late model and in a modified. And he is definitely a very good wheelman.
Yeah, and his first feature win in a here at the Springfield Raceway. We'll see if he can make his way forward. He's got to go through Kenny Schrader. They come off turn number 4. Green in the air.
At number 27 car, Bob Test. Up to the number 2 spot, but here comes Mickey Burrell.
Mickey Burrell on the charge into Bud's Tyre wheel number 73 car off turn number 4. He's second.
Mickey Burrell shot out of a cannon off the green flag drop into that number 2 spot. Test in the number 3 spot as they race their way into turn number 3.
Ryan Gustin up to 4th as he goes down to the bottom of the speedway, but the 45 out in front, Levi Nielsen.
Nielsen looking strong in the 45 as he comes off of turn number 2. Now Gustin making his way up there. He'll battle with Test for the number 3 spot.
Mickey Burrell trying to close in on the leader while Ryan Gustin trying to work over the 27 car of Bob Test.
They're side by side, anybody's race right there. Now Gustin gets the advantage as he goes through turn number 2. He's in the 3 spot.
Ryan Gustin's got a long way to go to catch up to the leaders. About a full straightaway as out in front it's Levi Nielsen. Right behind him, the Mickey Burrell machine.
Mickey Burrell not able to really gain too much, don't look like on Nielsen. But Gustin, I believe he is making up some ground, that number 19.
Everybody at the top of the racetrack right now, except for that 26 car. He'll be down on the bottom. That's Kevin Blackburn looking the bottom side over.
Mickey Burrell once again looking through the middle of Gustin. Again, making some ground on these top 2 cars. We're going to have us a battle for second, I believe, before this is all said and done.
Ryan Gustin closing in on the back bumper, the 73 car. We'll see if he shoots it down to the bottom of the racetrack right now. Here he goes to the bottom of 3 and 4.
White flag is out. He's only got one more lap to get it done as they race into turn number 1.
Out in front, it's Nielsen in the 45, Mickey Burrell to the 73, then Ryan Gustin trying to close in.
Here they come off of turn number 4. You better pedal hard, Mickey Burrell. And he will. He'll hold on to that number 2 spot. Nielsen picks up the win. Gustin will finish up in 3rd.
And a nice run there for All right, the next group of cars rolling out. It'll be Kyle Thompson in the 292 leading the field out. Right behind him out of Pierce City, Missouri, that'll be the number 40 of Brian Green. Them, the sister car to Logan Martin. On the racetrack, that's Chad Tilley. John Yeoman in car number 84. Jared Rudd. leader. 36 car on the move.
Logan Martin looking strong as he comes off of turn number 4. He'll have the lead. The Big Lot Chevrolet, number 36.
He'll slide up the racetrack now, right in front of Brian Green in the 40 car. Kyle Thompson in the 292 runs into third spot. John Yeoman fourth.
Here they come off of turn number 4. And Logan Martin looking good at number 36 car.
John Yeoman doing a nice job hanging on to the number 4 position, the Tilley machine, to make that Carl Murphy in car number 3, rounding out your top 5.
Here they come off of turn number 4. Laps winding down as we've got problems over in turn number 4.
Caution coming out. Jared Russell in the number 4 machine, spinning it off turn number 2, and coming up right behind him with nowhere to go is the 75 of Chad Tilley. And they made some hard contact, Dennis. I'm surprised that the 4 car of Jared Russell is able to stay on the racetrack, and looks like Tilley's going to refire and go as well. As I really thought we'd have 2 race cars that would be off the track, but you can see it hit right in the center of that bumper, and that may be what saved him.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be pretty nasty there, but so far both those cars look like they're rolling straight, and they will rejoin the rear of the field, and we'll go back under green. That's a good sign. Hate to see anybody come out and get tore up right off the bat in a heat race.
Well, you can see right behind the right rear tire of that Russell machine is where he took the impact. And so just missing that rear suspension, so everybody should be good to go, as Tilley got a little bit of a dented up bumper, but that could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, most certainly could have. All right, here we go, going back to green here. Very shortly, Logan Martin, your leader. He's seen a lot of laps here at this Springfield Raceway. Behind the late model and the A modified. I believe he is another driver that has had the distinction of picking up 2 wins in one night here at this Springfield Raceway. It's been a few years ago when he did that. Good to see Brian Green, driver out of Pierce City, Missouri. He was one of our regular runners in the A modified division. And Brian is typically, as we mentioned, he likes to run that high line, and that number 40 car works out real good for him. Here we go. Green flag is back out.
So far, Jody Tillman not able to make up much ground, still battling back for that 5th spot as we got a good battle shaping up for 2nd.
Here they come off of turn number 4. Brian Green looks like he's going to lose that 2nd spot to Thompson. They're door to door as they come off of turn number 2.
John Yeoman closing in fast on that 40 car as well, so might make that Brian Green struggling a bit.
Jody Tillman now up into the top 5 in the number 85 car, while these 3 cars battle it out for the number 2 spot. Here comes Yeoman around the top.
Logan Martin out in front, checking out on this field, but a good battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Thompson and Green battling it out. Thompson still has it. Going down the backstretch, Yeoman again looking at the top side. 1 more lap to go for Logan Martin.
Down the backstretch for the final time, Logan Martin in control. James Thompson up to the number 2 spot. Brian Green trying to hang on to 3rd. Here comes Yeoman. It's all Logan Martin, Thompson, and Green.
All right, nice little run right there for Logan Martin in the number 36 car. And good to see the 4 and the 75 still run fairly well after their contact earlier in that race. So hopefully no severe damage for either one of those cars.
We are setting up the features based on passing points here in the A modified. So big passing points race for Logan Martin. Not so much for Brian Green. Started on the pole, actually started 2nd. finished in third. We'll see if that's good enough to get him in the final without going through a B main.
All right, Steve Piccoli in the 0X. Steve Picou, pardon me. Steve Picou in the 0X. And I believe that's Kyle Covert on his outside. Robbie Reed in the number 5 car inside row number 2. Jerry Lankton on his outside in the number 35. And I believe that is Nick Link. Nick Link in row number 3 in the number 1. And on his outside is the number 2X. And I believe that is Tracy Link in the 2X. All right, we'll get another look at that as they come over here around the front stretch. That may be a 2M of Lonnie Judd. Here they come off of turn number 4.
On the break, Steve Picou out in front. Trying to chase him down, it's Kyle Covert. Jerry Lankton hooking up the top side of the speedway. He'll have Robbie Reed down on the inside of him in car number 5.
Here they come off of turn number 4. And it's going to be the 0 car holding on. Good battle as Jerry Lankton goes up the track.
Lankton able to bring it back down, running that low line right now in that car number 35, holding on to 4th.
Picou, your leader, Reed in the number 2 spot.
Robbie Reed's had some good runs here at Springfield Raceway, right now in the number 2 spot, trying to chase down the leader. Big move down on the bottom by the number 1 car of Nick Link.
Link trying to get that number 4 spot away from Jerry Lankton as they race into turn number 3. They're going to be door to door as they come off of turn number 4. Lankton holding on for now as they race their way into turn number 3. They're coming up on that 7D7 Kyle Covert.
Steve Picou will see the white flag this time by. One more time around for the leader, Robbie Reed. One final shot as we got a great battle shaping up for 3rd.
Kyle Covert trying to hold on, but he slips a little bit off turn number 2. Lankton down on the bottom side. They're going to be a battle right to the line.
Lankton dives it in deep. Here they come. Covert crossing over down on the bottom to the line. It's going to be Covert finishing up in the number 3 spot. And Jerry Lankton will have to settle for 4th, but what a good battle right there for that number 3 position. But Steve Picou, the class of the field. But I tell you what, I think Robbie Reed may have had a little bit better car, just not enough time to catch up to the leader. This is A-mods as well.
All right, here we go. Next group of A-modifieds rolling off.
Scotty Bough.
Scotty Bough in the number 11 car on his inside. Joshua Tyre. Jason Pursley in the number 24D. Paul Reeder in the number 97 car. Danny Martin in the number 33. And on the top there, row number 3, the number 21 of Josh Everhardt.
Six cars set to go, green flag in the air. Scotty Bough drives it in deep down in turns 1 and 2, and he'll take the lead off down into the backstretch. Jason Pursley into the, sideways for Scotty Bough. Trouble on lap number 1 for Scotty Bough in car number 11, all kinds of sideways up in turns number 3. And looks to me like at least 2 cars are going to be out of this race. The 21 car up there with a lot of damage. Josh Everhardt nowhere to go. Paul Reeder, car number 97, also involved, and we'll see if he's able to refire. But we may have eliminated half the cars in one accident right there as Scotty Bough loses it coming off turn number 4.
Looked like he was going to save it there just for a minute, then sharp right turn up the hill. Those guys had nowhere to go. And a tough break for the 21 and the 97.
Well, unfortunately, on lap number 1, it's usually still pretty crowded up front, and that was the case there. Everybody was right up on the back bumper of the leader and nowhere to go. And so the 21 car of Josh Everhardt, and I saw a little smoke coming out of that car, more than likely the radiator out of that machine. Paul Reeder in car number 97, not really sure what damage he might have suffered there, but we know for sure that both cars unable to refire, so tough break for both of those. Danny Martin in car number 33. Of course, we mentioned Danny Martin Trucking, and Danny Martin putting up an extra $1,000 for the A Modifieds tonight. We certainly appreciate that. Jason Pursley driving Donnie Feller's number 24 car. Donnie Fellers normally drives that car. Donnie up around Wheatland, Missouri. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Normally pilots that number 24 car, but tonight Jason Pursley behind the wheel. And we used to call Jason Pursley the racing principal. He was a high school principal. Is he not or an elementary principal?
Yeah, he still is. Elementary school principal at Skyline High School. Yep, or Skyline School District, yep.
And Trenton, of course, you graduated from Skyline like a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, boy, it's been a little longer than that, I guess, but yeah. Yeah.
It seems like yesterday, right?
Yep, and Jason wasn't there. He was at, he was either at Wheatland or Wablo, one of those other Hickory County schools at the time. There, he was never my principal, but man, that would have been really cool to had a racing principal like that. You know, there's a few kids that raced from Skyline. Dylan McCowan, one of them, that was his principal back when Dylan was younger. So it's kind of a neat deal for sure.
Well, especially as much time as you probably spent in the principal's office, it probably would have been cool to have a racer as a principal, right?
Here now, it's you know, not your usual trajectory for a career path for a race car driver either. You know, you think elementary school principal. He's got to be in the 1%, you know, of people in the country for sure. Jason's a super guy. His boys started racing a little bit too, and so that Fellers and Pursley racing operation, those bloodlines, that runs deep in that family.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and we see a lot of second, even third generation drivers come along. The Newell family comes to mind. J.C. Newell out of Camden to Missouri. Then his son, Ben Newell, drove, and now Ben's 2 sons, I guess, both driving race cars. That's pretty cool to see third generation. Yeah,
it really is, and it's neat that people keep the racing on through the generations, because it's no secret. You know, it's been a long time since a car's been sold from a dealership with a carburetor on it, so it's going to take a lot of work like that to keep this thing going on down the line.
Well, and again, a lot of tradition in the racing world. And if you're into tradition in racing, be sure and make the Ozark Area Racers Reunion coming up on January 5th up at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. And they will have some old race cars from the past. And usually they have Lester Freeby's Purple People Eater, the number 13 car. Help me out, Dennis. I'm trying to think some of the other cars. Yeah.
They've had a lot of different ones. A lot of those old cars. Terry Bivens' old car from the Kansas City area has been there in the past. Watsons have had some old cars out there. The LP Tribute car, the 75, that street legal car that Marty Denny finished a couple years ago is out there. They get a lot of current race cars out there too, and that just kind of varies from year to year who has stuff ready to go.
Yeah, I love that 75 Tribute car. And you mentioned it is a street legal car. And of course, you race fans, if you remember Larry Phillips running the House of Sound, blue and gold, blue car, white, and then gold wheels. It's just beautiful.
I passed that thing on Kearney back, I don't know, last summer, fall, whatever, last calendar year. One night I was just out running errands, and boy, you want to talk about cool. This really unassuming, you know, and you see this 75 just humming along down the street that you meet it head on. That was a cool deal for sure.
Yeah, I seen him at the at barbecue place over there on Glenstone, and I about had a wreck, you know, looking over there in the parking lot. Is that what I'm seeing, you know? And we go over there, and I talk to him, and it certainly is. It was a lot of fun, and he enjoys people looking at it and remembering what those late models look like. And it, from inside and out, you look at the inside, it's got the floor pan and everything is just like the car that raced on the track.
Yeah, they did a good job. It took them a while to get it done, too. And, you know, it's neat to replicate the race cars, but it was cool that they went the extra step to give it that look, but still, you know, get that thing licensed where you can run it out on the highway.
So are your chances of getting a speeding ticket greater? Or, I mean, if you get pulled over, you think you get a break for driving a race car down the highway, or you think maybe you get a little more scrutiny?
Boy, I don't. I would say your brakes are probably off at that point, wouldn't you guys say?
Yeah, I'd say you're probably on your own if you get a speeding ticket in a race car.
You know,
but
neat thing that they did here just a little bit ago. I was looking back here. They unveiled the monument out at the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame where that's going to go, and you know, since the fairground doesn't really care about racing anymore, and unfortunately we lost that O'Reilly building. There's not a whole lot of history still left out there, unfortunately, other than just the memories. So that was neat for Mark Perry to kind of spearhead the effort to get that monument moved and put that out there. They announced the induction class. We got a little bit of time here, so we'll go through those. On the Legends side, Dick Trickle, of course, no longer with us, but barnstormed this area quite a bit throughout his career. Leslie Essery, Justin Wells, who's here racing with us tonight, Corky Wynn, and Glenn Mooneyham on the Legends side. The Pioneers side, Carl Sifferman, of course, with Powertrain Industries. Marty Denny, we talked about with the 75 LP tribute car. All his pinstriping and painting and all that neat stuff that he's done throughout his career. Kirby Arnold, Mike Edwards, people listen to the radio around would know the name Mike Edwards, called just a ton of races in addition to all of his radio work, and Mike Pickens. Those are your inductees this year for the Hall of Fame.
And speaking of legends, I believe I saw Kevin Fletcher running around a little bit earlier today. Kevin, of course, the track announcer up the Lucas Oil Speedway, and he loves racing. Good to have him on hand with us tonight. A lot of damage right there to Reeder. And Dennis, the good news is he's driving that car, so that means that the radiator was not hit, so maybe he will be able to rejoin the pack.
Well, I hope so. I'd hate to see you lose half the field, but I can't imagine that damage going much further than and being detrimental. That number 97 car looks like he took a pretty good lick right there in the front, and unfortunately not the same result over there in turn number 4 as we have that car on the back of the hook.
Well, we appreciate Josh Everhardt being on hand with us tonight. Not sure where he hails from, but obviously making the trip to the Springfield Raceway tonight, and not the result he was looking for. Hate to see a guy get knocked out in the heat race, but one of those racing deals, nothing he could do right there.
Yeah, it looks like he got some damage on the front and the back, all the way around that car. Pretty rough shape.
Back out on the racetrack, we've got 4 left, and looks like we'll restart them here very shortly. Joshua Tyre in car number 16 out on the point at this juncture. Pursley, Martin, and Reeder will be the field. As we mentioned, Keith Pratt not on hand with us tonight as he lost his house in a house fire last night while he was actually here at the Speedway flagging the practice session. And man, hate to see that happen for Keith. We'll talk about that a little bit more later.
All righty, Scotty Bough back out in the number 11 car. And we need a double file restart, not a single file restart. And so here we go. We'll get them doubled up. Try it one more time. As we did not get one lap in, that wreck over there happened on the very first lap. So let's get them doubled up. Let's try it again. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag is out.
Looks like the 11 of Scotty Bough up to speed as he'll have to come from the back. But out in front, it's Jason Pursley trying to get away.
Pursley down the front stretch of that 24D leads the way. And 97 Reader right there in that number 2 spot. Good battle for third.
Reader making a nice recovery as he's got the 97 up in the runner-up position. He'll try to chase down the leader.
Here comes Martin down on the bottom side, the number 33. And he'll pick up that number 3 spot.
Scotty Bough making his way around the tire machine, but Jason Pursley pulling away from this field.
Trouble over in turn number 4, the 33 car. Martin sitting down at the bottom side of the racetrack. That's going to slow things down. Martin had just picked up the number 3 spot, and now he finds himself parked down there at the bottom of turn number 4.
And you got to believe that Jason Pursley did not want to see this caution flag, as now he'll have that Reader machine right on his back bumper.
You know, pretty cool what Danny Martin's done to help further along Ryan Gilmore's career. You know, Ryan and his dad did a lot to get Ryan a lot of exposure, and he's just a heck of a talent. But Danny Martin really has hauled him to other places across the region and even beyond that, and given him the opportunity to race an A modified, which Ryan has excelled at, and really show that he is an extreme talent behind the wheel of the race car, and the feel that he has, he's really able to showcase that. You know, all that's credit to Danny and the opportunities he's provided for Ryan. So that's a very important part of racing, and just a shout to him there. He's having a tough heat race, but a super guy.
Jason Pursley leads him in. Reader right up on his back bumper. Scotty Bough up to third. Here we go.
And battle heating up once again for the number 3 spot. Martin challenging just for a moment. Here comes Tyre in the number 16 off turn number 4.
Scotty Bough trying to take a look underneath the Reader machine in turns 1 and 2. Now he'll go back down to the bottom of the speedway over in 3 and 4.
Number 11 car, nice recovery for Scotty Bough. And the number 11, he's looking for the number 2 spot as they go down the back straight. 2 laps to go.
2 to go for Jason Pursley. Good battle shaping up for second as they continue to fight up and down the racetrack. Reader's got it, but Scotty Bough inching towards that second spot.
Working hard as they come into turn number 3. White flag will be coming out this time. 1 more to go for Pursley in the 24.
Reader securing that number 2 spot for now, as it'll be one final shot down here on the north end of the speedway for Scotty Bough. It'll be checkers for Jason Pursley.
And a battle for second. It's going to be Reader in the number 20, pardon me, the number 97 car. Reader in the 97 will finish in the number 2 spot.
And Trenton, just adding to what you were saying a little bit earlier there about Danny Martin, car owner for Ryan Gilmore, and that's what the Ozark Area Racers Reunion Pioneer and Legend Award is all about. The legends are the drivers, but the pioneers are the guys that make things happen. Car owners, track promoters, track owners, that type of thing, and so it takes both to make it work.
Yeah, it really does, and it's one of the neat things about our sport is those people that are willing to do that. They're special individuals for sure.
And I believe that's Chad Lyle in the inside row number 1 in the black and yellow number 33. That's Gilmore in it. And on the outside of him in the black and white 33, that is Ryan Gilmore. John Romesburg in the number 42, Mitch Keeter in the number 1. Tracy Link in the number 2 as they come off of turn number 4. Tyler Grooms in the number 92.
Mitch Keeter slides into the number 3 spot, but out in front, it's Ryan Gilmore leading the way. Chad Lyle looking down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Here they come off of turn number 4. Everybody through clean and green. We got a 3-car battle back there in the back of the pack. 233s battling for the lead. Josh Payton spinning over here in turn number 2, along with the number 40 car of Mark Inc.
Caution out, tough break for Josh Payton in car number 6. Got a little help there from the 40 machine.
Chad Lyle had a heck of a year this year, racing with Richard and Christina Smith out of Kansas City. Picked up the track championship at Central Missouri Speedway. So for all the winning and all the things he had ever done, that was a first for him at Warrensburg. So cool deal to see him here.
All right, we're looking for green again this time. And your leader is going to be Gilmore. Lyle in the number 2 spot. Here they come off of turn number 4. Keep trying that number 2 car back there right now. Oh, Mitch Keeter going off turn number 3. The 42 car sideways over in turn number 4. All kinds of action going on in 3 and 4.
And I tell you what, Mitch Keeter went off the top of the banking over there, looked like he was shot out of a cannon, and I looked like he was going to be able to keep it on its wheels. At least we hope so. And we hope to see him driving that, and there he is, the 1 car driving up back onto the racetrack. And he'll start tailback, but I'll guarantee you he won't finish there. Going to be fun to watch Mitch Keeter coming up from the back.
Yeah, if he didn't tear nothing up on that little ride over there, he will be one to keep an eye on as he makes his way through this pack.
I just can't imagine what it feels like as a driver going off that banking, especially going backwards. I suppose it's a lot like that tilt-a-whirl we rode when we were kids, you know. Young people don't know nothing about tilt-a-whirl.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not much of a gambler, but I got on a tilt-a-whirl put together by a bunch of guys making minimum wage, and had been set up in another county the night before, so I guess I was quite a gambler after all.
Yes, you were. All right, Gilmore leads him to the start-finish line one more time. And again, keep trying that back of the pack.
Chad Lyle trying to close in on the leader as Gilmore using the bottom lane and Lyle closing up.
Here comes the number 6, Josh Payton, up into the number 4 spot. Nearly making contact, maybe did make a little contact with Grooms in the 92, but he was able to hold on to it.
Good battles all around the speedway, and Mitch Keeter looking for racing room back here at the back.
He's got some good cars racing with him there, even though they're in the middle of the pack. Right now, it's pretty much covered back there. Keeter not able to break through.
That 6 car on the charge. Looks like he'll take over the number 3 spot this time.
Tracy Link back to the number 4 spot in the number 2. Meanwhile, up front, the 33 still battling. Gilmore trying to hold on over Lyle.
Chad Lyle using that top lane, and I believe he'll run him down if Gilmore continues to run the bottom lane. Neck and neck.
Here they come one more time off of turn number 4. 2 laps to go. And that narrow lead getting even closer.
Now Ryan Gilmore going up to the top of the racetrack, trying to hang on to that lead as the white flag comes out. Problems for the 92.
Lots of smoke off the 92 car of Grooms. And he will stay out of the way as the cars go by.
Coming off turn number 4, Ryan Gilmore hangs on to the lead. Chad Lyles finishes up in second, in the 6th car of Josh Payton finishes 3rd, and 4th going to go to Mitch Keeter. And Mitch Keeter did make a little bit of a run towards the front. Unfortunately, got hung up behind some of those cars back there at the back just a little bit too long to get up there and race with the leaders.
And it might have been interesting what that number 6 of Josh Payton might have done. Kind of got off to a rough start there as well, but came on strong and finished a good solid 3rd.